All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we are back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we're here with an unboxing of the 6th release within the Stronger With You lineup. I had to think about that one. There's 6 releases here, and this is from Armani. Now, when it originally came out, I was just taken aback by how this fragrance smelled. And again, we're talking about the OG, the original Stronger With You. And then they decided to amp things up a bit, and it went with Stronger With You Intensely. And when we thought things couldn't get any better, they came out with Strong With You Absolutely. And then they had Strong With You Free, Strong With You Leather. I don't think I'm missing any, but I could be, because that's how flankers work. And today we're talking about this one here, Stronger With You Only. Now, as you may have noticed, as these fragrances released, I began to shift from 100 ml bottles for these to 50 ml bottles for a few reasons. One, because, well, that's all I could find at the time, and I figured, well, I don't use them all, so I might as well go ahead and drop it down a bit. But when it comes down to Stronger With You Only, I was only able to find a 50 ml, and I'm sure that they'll come out with 100 ml, and I'm sure people out there have it. But this is what I could find. My local stores don't have it yet, so we'll dive in to see what this thing smells like. Now, as I did mention, I am a huge fan of this series of fragrances, but because of the frequency that I was able to wear them in Florida, I decided to go ahead and get smaller bottles. But who knows? Now I'm in a place that gets some cold weather. I may be able to get full bottles yet again. All right, man. So the packaging and presentation of this looks pretty similar to what we've experienced in the past. And honestly, I think this looks more or less like we saw with the women's original packaging way back in the day. Could be making that up. All right, here you go. So Stronger With You Only. Presentation looks very similar to the rest here. You do have a clear bottle, golden juice, and let's see what this thing sprays like. 1, 2. All right, I only really took 2 pumps to go ahead and get it started. Now, what I'll say about this entire lineup here is that things begin to get a bit more dark, okay? And so far, I think that this may be a little lighter approach on it. So we had Stronger With You, which was a fall fragrance, right? We had Stronger With You Intensely. That's fall, winter, absolutely winter for sure. And Freeze, in my opinion, is one that would probably be okay for year round, but definitely get that Stronger With You presentation in that, you know, middle of the year. And then you had the leather position. Now, based on the way this juice looks, it's lighter than all of the juices that I've seen thus far. And it does smell lighter as well. On first spray of Stronger With You Only, I'm getting callbacks and tiebacks to the original. In fact, I would say that that's expected as it comes back to this, as this one is not like Terry Mugler fragrances where they have different injections and infusions of things to really set them apart. This one is really calling back to the line in itself. Now, what I'll say here is that this fragrance does take a lighter approach. Now, as I did mention, those other fragrances within the lineup, with the exception of Freeze, are a bit darker, right? They're a bit more warm, they're a bit bolder, so to speak, in terms of what I'm getting thus far, but this fragrance does come off nice, and it does really tie into the line in itself. Now, also what I'm getting with this on that first spray is something that is a bit more fruity than some of the others. Now, it could be fruity or fresher, and I'm not saying that this one is a fruity scent, because I'm not getting that at all. There's something citrusy at the top of the scent that could be a bergamot, but I don't think it's a bergamot because it's a bit more dull than what I would expect in a bergamot, so maybe even, you know, a grapefruit or something like that is what I'm getting. Additionally, I would say that this one is for sure fresher than a lot of the other ones that we have within their lineup, and I just want to do this really quick. Just a quick one. Yeah, so to me, Stronger With You Freeze was the freshest within the lineup. But I'll say that Stronger With You Only is fresher than Stronger With You Freeze. And I think that's good, because what that does, it gives us Again, some of that same DNA that we can come to love and expect within this Stronger With You lineup, more readily available for that spring and summer wearing if you want to get your Stronger With You fix. Okay, so as Stronger With You continues to progress, I am still getting a lot of freshness here that was in that top. It's still here in the mid as well, but I'm also getting a little floral components here, some lavender within this fragrance, but I am also still getting those sweet components that I would expect within the entire lineup within this one as well. So that vanilla was readily available throughout the entire lineup, and I'm getting that within this one as well, although it is toned down a bit. So if you heard me speak about the Stronger With You fragrances in the past, then it's probably safe to assume that I'm going to be a fan of this one, and thus far I am. But what I'll say is I gotta be completely honest here, as I always am. This fragrance here may not be the most relevant release thus far. What I'll say about this fragrance is it is good in my opinion. But if you have the rest of the lineup, do you need this one? Maybe not. I think Freeze could do it if you could find Freeze. But again, if you want something that is going to be more season appropriate, still get that fix that I still feel that this fragrance does provide that cuddle factor, but not as much as the others. The others are a lot more warm and cozy than we do get with Only. But with a name like Only, it's like, hey, this is the only fragrance you will need when it comes to this lineup. And I guess if I look at it in that way, this could be probably the most well-rounded fragrance in terms of the ease of use and when you could use this scent. So again, for looking across the lineup, I'm seeing the regular Stronger With You, fall, maybe winter, winter for sure. You got Absolutely and Intensely. Those are going to be late fall, winter fragrances for sure. And then I have Freeze, which would be good for spring, but not really summer. And then you also have the Leather, which is going to be that darker feel as well. But I do think that this fragrance is one of those that could work throughout all seasons. So if I look at it in that way, maybe this could be the only buy. But if you're new to the lineup, give this one a try first. If you're not new to the lineup, then you probably could fit the others into specific situations when you wanted to wear them, and if not, substitute it out for something else. Probably be a-okay with getting this fragrance within your collection. I don't feel like so far this is a fragrance that anyone's going to be upset with you wearing. I don't think that it's going to cause a rift if you walk in with a few sprays of this one on, or maybe even if you oversprayed this fragrance. I do not believe that anyone's going to be upset about it. It's not going to cause you any type of heartache in terms of that. Now, as it relates to the other things, longevity, performance, projection, sillage, all of those good things, I do not know what that is going to be yet, but so far from smelling this fragrance, it's not going to be as heavy, as thick, or as sticky, so to speak, some stick-to-itness as the other fragrances that we have from this lineup. So let me give you my final takes of first impressions on Stronger With You Only. Does it call back to the original? Yes, that's what flankers are meant to do in some cases, and this one does execute on that extremely well. It does provide a nice change of pace in relation to the rest of the lineup, as it does have this good freshness here, but again, there isn't anything super unique about this scent, so there are a lot of similarities as it relates back to that. A little bit of citrus here in the top here that I think is going to be enjoyable. It helps amplify that freshness, but again, you still get that vanilla within this fragrance. It still comes off as a very smooth scent, and I think it's going to be extremely enjoyable for sure. I can't wait to get that one out in the field, get a full wearing on that fragrance, and come back with the overall assessment and give you my final ranking on this fragrance here, Stronger With You Only. Listen, that's all I have for you today as it relates back to this fragrance release. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.